Hey guys, it's Tammy. So today I thought I would do a little story time on the day that I met Carrie Underwood. Now I realised in my update video for this year that I never mentioned that I actually met Carrie. I only said that I went to the Keith and Carrie concert twice. I don't know how that slipped my mind because, it's not every day that, you just get to meet Carrie Underwood. So it's literally been like 4 months since the day I met Carrie and it still doesn't feel real. I still can't believe it happened. So I just get straight onto the story of how I met Carrie. So I went to the first Sydney show of the Keith Urban Ripcord Tour with my mum, and Carrie was one of the opening acts, as people would know. And I had heard little things that Carrie was going to be on Sunrise, but I wasn't 100% sure. And I couldn't really find anything on it. And whilst I was at the concert, I met up with my friend Hannah, who I mentioned in my last video. That was the first time that we had met, and we were talking, and she brought up the Sunrise thing, and I was like, okay, so she is going to be on it. And she basically confirmed it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is my one chance at meeting Carrie Underwood. So the very second after that conversation, I was like, I'm going to Sunrise tomorrow morning. So before this day, I had never gone to Sunrise before to meet celebrities. So I had messaged a friend who had had lots of experience with it, and she suggested what time to get there and whatnot. And I literally got up the very next day after the concert, which ended very late, may I add. I got up at like 3 something in the morning to get ready, to leave, to go to the city, to go meet Carrie Underwood. Now, mind you, at this point, I didn't actually know if she was definitely going to be on Sunrise. Like, I had heard from other people and whatnot, but I didn't know from, like, Sunrise itself. So I had tweeted them asking, and they didn't respond to a lot later. So I was kind of like, let's hope I'm not going to the city for no reason at this time of the morning. So I'm on my way to the city, and I get there, and I get to Sunrise Studios, which is in Martin Place, and I'm just chilling. So when I get there, there was like this one guy there who didn't really like, I don't want to be rude, but he liked Carrie obviously, but he didn't seem like a Care Bear as such. Like, he kind of didn't really know what was happening, but he was there. And at this time it was just him and I was kind of thinking, please tell me it's not just going to be him and I this whole time. But soon enough, there were like 4 other people that came as well, and I was like, okay, it's all good. Sunrise had tweeted to say, yes, Carrie is going to be on, so I was like, fabulous. So I don't even know how long I waited till she got there. Her band got there first, and I was like, oh my goodness, because I had never seen like Mark or like Sydney in person, so I was like, this is crazy. So they got there like, maybe like 10 to 20 minutes earlier than Carrie. And then soon enough, this black van arrives, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, at first, I didn't actually see Carrie get out of the van because people were blocking me. But soon enough, she got out of the van, and this was the very first video I took of her getting out of the car, and the first time I had seen her. So this video is literally the first time my eyes had seen her, and I was like, oh my goodness, like, she's so adorable in real life. Like, I mean, I knew she was already adorable, but in real life, she's even 10 times more adorable. So she was with security and whatever, and she came over because she knew that the group of people I was with wanted to get autographs and photos, obviously, so she came over, and it was actually so good that there were not that many people there. I remember being like, I hope more people turn up, but in the end, it was a good number of people because then it wasn't like a swarm of people and then harder to meet her kind of thing. She literally went around to every single person that was waiting to get a photo with her, which was the nicest thing ever. So I was one of the last people to get a photo with her because I didn't want to rush because I was waiting for other people. So I waited till like the end kind of thing. And I didn't actually go up to Carrie to be like, oh, hey, I want a photo. She kind of turned to me, looked at me like directly in the eyes. And I remember being like, holy cow, the Carrie Underwood is literally looking me in the eyes. And she walked over to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, she initiated this. Like, I didn't initiate it, she did. So she came over, and she was just like, hi, like, how are you? And I was like, I'm good, thank you, how are you? We got a photo, which is this photo here. And then I was like, can we do a silly photo? And she didn't really know what to do. She's a bit awkward, Carrie, which it's one of the many things I love about her. So this is the silly face she pulled. It looks more like she's terrified of me. But anyway, okay, so before you meet your idol, you think of all the things you want to say to them. Like, you just have all this stuff. And then when you actually get to meet them, you're just like, and you just go brain dead because you just don't know what to say because you can't believe it's actually them. So I think I said something along the lines of, you are amazing, I love you so much and stuff. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. And I think she had hugged me when she like first came over. And before she left, I was like, could I please get a hug? And she was so happy. She was like, yeah, of course. And she gave me a hug, and oh my goodness. And may I just say, she gives the best hugs, and she also smells really, really nice. Like, I always thought she would. And may I just add as well, I wasn't like sniffing Carrie or anything like that. She was wearing perfume of some kind, and it was like really strong. So obviously when I breathed in, I could smell it. I wasn't just, you know, sniffing Carrie on the side, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then Carrie went inside, she got ready to perform, and then we watched her perform from the window, and it was a great old time. It was great. She was so lovely and so nice. I did wait back a little bit to see if she'd come back out, but I think she was doing some other stuff in there. So I ended up just leaving because I was like, I've already met her, I'm fine. And I remember when I got home, I was just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And I don't know, like, I just had this feeling inside of me. I was like, Sunrise is a really easy way to meet celebrities. And because Carrie isn't as well known in Australia as she is in America, I thought this is a perfect opportunity. And I know if I hadn't have gone, I would have regretted it so much. I would have hated myself for it. So I'm so happy I went. It was worth getting up really, really early and getting on a freaking train at that time of day. It was worth every single second because she was so lovely. You know, I hear stories every now and then saying that she's so horrible and she wasn't lovely and stuff. But she was absolutely lovely to me. She was so kind. And like I said, she walked up to me. Like, I wasn't like all up in her face or anything like that. I was just waiting patiently by myself and she came over to me and she was so lovely. So to anyone that hasn't met Carrie Underwood yet and you're dying to and you think that you're never going to meet her, please do not give up hope because it's going to happen someday. Like, if you actually like figure out where she's going to be at times and things like that. Okay, wow, that sounds really creepy. You know what I mean. But if there is like an event or something like Sunrise where you can go to a studio and meet her, well then definitely go for it. I mean, I had to sacrifice my sleep. I went to the concert the night before, which ended very late, and I got up early in the morning to meet her. And I couldn't have met her. Like, I could have taken that risk and she wasn't actually on the show or I had missed her, but I still went and I took that risk and I met her. So if you think that it's never going to happen, please, please don't give up hope because I'm from Australia and, you know, like in America, she lives in America. So there's plenty of opportunities to meet her, whereas when you live on the other side of the world, it is incredibly hard. And I waited a very long time. I've waited pretty much my entire life to meet Carrie, and I did. So please, 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 do not give up hope. You will meet Carrie someday. And, I mean, God's timing is everything. I mean, 2016 was not a good year for me, and the day I met her, it was kind of as if God was just like, you need this. Like, this is what you need right now. This is what is going to make everything better. And it did. So, God's timing is everything. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this story of the time I met Carrie Underwood. I still can't believe it happened. I look at the photo and I'm like, nah, that's not real. But it did, and I'm so forever blessed. It's probably, like, the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. So, I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.